What's up Trophy Hunter, the holiday sale in the PSN store is huge, and in this video I will show you not 5, not 10, not 15, not 20, no 25 hidden gems worth a try. And of course I will also show you the platinum difficulty and time for each game. So 25 games are a lot, so I try to do this as quick as possible, so let's jump right into it. First game on my list is Squirrel with a gun. If you enjoy games like Goat Simulator, this game is definitely for you. It's a super fun and weird sandbox game, and trophy wise it's a relatively easy and short platinum. If you like turn-based RPG games, you should definitely check out Romancing Saga 2 Revenge of the Seven. This one is basically a remake. The game is available on PS4 and PS5 and also supports cross-save, so it's possible to auto-pop the platinum. The platinum requires 2 playthroughs. You need to play through the game on New Game Plus on expert difficulty. The next game is Risk of Rain 2, which is a roguelike action shooter. It's possible to play the game solo and co-op. The game is available on PS4 and PS5 and supports cross-save, so it's possible to auto-pop the platinum from PS4 to PS5. Another super fun game, and the platinum is not too difficult and has a perfect gameplay time, roughly 15 to 20 hours. The next game on my list is Wayfinder. It's an action RPG. The game is available on PS4 and PS5. The game had a very rough release, but after a major patch they changed the entire game and also the trophy requirements. So now it's the best time to buy the game. Please keep in mind I only recommend that you play the PS5 version, because the PS4 version received no major patch and the platinum is unobtainable. But you will definitely have a lot of fun with the PS5 version. So if you like this kind of games, give it a try. The next game was quite a surprise, Nobody Wants to Die. The game is a science fiction mystery adventure game. A very enjoyable game with a relatively easy platinum. Definitely worth the $15. So we're jumping right to the next game, Signalis. This is an old school survival horror game with a sci-fi setting. So if you enjoy games like the old school Resident Evil games, you will definitely like this one. It's a kind of short game, you can easily get the platinum within 6 to 8 hours. Next I have another horror game for you, Bandy and the Dark Reviver, which is basically a sequel to Bandy and the Ink Machine. Another great little indie horror title with a relatively easy platinum. If you enjoyed Vampire Survivors, you should give Vampire Hunters a try, because it's basically Vampire Survivors as a first-person shooter. But this game requires a little bit more skill and takes a lot more time than Vampire Survivors. But believe me, it's a lot of fun. Next one is one of my favorites, Bramble the Mountain King. Well, you can compare the gameplay with Little Nightmares, but believe me when I say Bramble really tells a frightening fairy tale, and sometimes the game is really brutal. Trophy is pretty straightforward, but there's one tricky trophy: you need to complete the entire game without dying. While playing Legend, I would say the difficulty is an 8 out of 10, but if you use backup saves, you can reduce the platinum difficulty drastically to a 3 out of 10. So the time and difficulty is only for people who are using backup saves. Next game on my list is Sun and Bone. Well, it's basically Turok with aliens and monsters, and of course dinosaurs. Pretty sick game and fun for a short while. Well, with a collectible guide you can get the platinum within 5 hours, without the guide it probably take up to 10 hours. There are some in-game cheats, and if you use them the difficulty is only a 1 out of 10. There are some cheats like God mode, infinite ammo, hyperspeed, etc, etc. Are you tired of playing the same kind of Metroidvanias? Well, then check out Utros. This game has an amazing art style and some of the best classic music in the genre. Trophy wise nothing is really missable and you should be able to unlock the platinum within 30 hours. Next game on my list is Little Big Adventure, Twinson's Quest. The game is a remake of a cult classic from the 90s. Well, it feels a bit rough in terms of gameplay. Well, people from the 90s will definitely enjoy it, but if you're from a newer generation you will probably have a little bit trouble. However, overall it's a pretty solid adventure game. The next game is Withering Rooms. I think many people are sleeping on this game. Well, I personally would say it's Clock Tower in a Metroidvania genre. Some of the enemies also reminds me a lot of Silent Hill. Keep in mind it's also roguelike. Trophy wise you need basically 4 playthroughs to get the platinum, but you can do it in 2 if you use backup saves. If you're looking for a guide for this game you can find a great one on Steam. Next game is the Riftbreaker. It's a mix of real-time strategy, survivor and tower defense. A very enjoyable and fun platinum, not too difficulty, but the platinum requires a bit of time. Next game on my list is Geometry Survivor. This is a perfect game to play in between. If Geometry Wars and Vampire Survivors had a baby, it would be Geometry Survivors. So yes, it's an auto shooter, and after each level up you choose your upgrades. I really had some fun with the game, but unfortunately the trophy list is very boring. It's a way too easy because all you have to do is you have to survive for 20 minutes and the platinum is yours. And basically you can do this on your first attempt. So I personally would say with a more challenging trophy list the game would have a lot more gameplay value. The next game is an absolutely classic RPG masterpiece, Moner. If you're a PS Plus premium member you can download the game for free. The combat in the game is similar to Dragon Age Origins. The game doesn't take your hand, so you really have to find out everything by yourself. Basically the game is easy because you can use the rewind function and you can save every time. But there are some missables, and the most missable trophy is definitely complete 30 quests from the quest journal. If you proceed too far in the main story, it's possible that some quests can't be completed anymore. A great quest guide can be found on GameFAQs. So if you like RPGs, I highly recommend Moner. I liked it so much that I completed both stacks. Next one is another old school one, Nightmare Reaper. It's a first person shooter dungeon crawler with procedural generated levels. When it comes to trophies, unfortunately the platinum is really grindy. But the game itself is a lot of fun. So the next game on my list is Severed Steel, and probably a must buy for this small amount of money. For just $2.50 you get a very good game and an easy platinum. Next I have another indie gem for you guys, Self-Loss. This is an emotional adventure game with a relatively easy platinum. Probably not worth the full price, but for $13 you can give the game a try. Trophy wise nothing is missable, you can clean up all the collectibles and other stuff via chapter select. The Procession to Calvary is another masterpiece in the point and click genre. This game is super weird, has some fun moments and can be sometimes very brutal. So in short, a very unique point and click adventure game. Well, with a guide it's possible to get all the trophies within 1 hour. If you want to play the game without the guide, it will probably take 3 to 5 hours. The next game on my list, Star Renegades, is for people who are looking for a challenge. It's a roguelike RPG with turn-based combat. It's a very good game, but when it comes to trophies it's a nightmare. Because you need to do a minimum of 13 runs. Every time you complete a run you unlock a higher difficulty. There are a total of 9 difficulties and you must complete the game on the hardest difficulty to get the platinum. So in short, game itself is great, trophy wise it's a nightmare. Next one, which I had a lot of fun with it, is 9 Parchments. The game is an isometric twin stick shooter, but instead of bullets you shooting spells. Well, you can play this game with other people's online and offline, but you can also play the entire game solo. The game was really a lot of fun for me. Trophy wise it's a little bit tricky, because you need to complete the game on hardcore difficulty. Next game on my list is The Last Ori Crew, which is an action RPG game. The game got a major update and now it's called the Final Cut. They fixed a lot of stuff, added some new things and a lot more. Definitely worth the $5, and the best part is you can play the entire game couch co-op. Not sure if you ever heard about Smash TV or Galaxy Champions. If yes, you will definitely like Xenocrisis. It's an old school classic twin stick shooter. It can also be played offline co-op, but keep in mind the platinum in this one is kinda tough. You need to get an S rank on every level. It's definitely a little bit easier if you play the game co-op. But be aware guys, this game can be very addictive. And last but not least guys is the game Hermione Spiffing. The game is not very often on sale and I think this is the best deal yet. It's an adventure game and for some reason the game always reminds me a bit of the good old Telltale games. This is also a very easy and quick platinum. So guys, this was my list with 25 games you should try. I hope you found this video useful. Thanks for the attention. See you in my next one.